first. Sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Well, good evening to you. A calm Wednesday across the area, albeit much cooler than what we had the past few days. We've got clear skies out there. It's been another nice evening. The sun's setting, but again, those temperatures a little cooler. 27 now in Champaign. And as we look outside here tonight, you're going to see those temperatures eventually falling back down to those mid-20s, but we actually may start to see temperatures come up overnight as a strong storm system approaches. We're talking about some big-time rains that could cause some major issues already. A flood watch going to be going into effect here as things really kick up here later tomorrow night into Friday and Saturday. We have the latest on amounts. And then how wind even is a big issue tomorrow. That's coming up. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
And I think we needed to respond.
Tuesday night's missile attack from Iran has people talking. What some had to say about the situation. Plus, recreational marijuana customers were turned away at one dispensary today. How long that could last. And a big surprise is waiting for one child fighting cancer. What's at home for him after surgery?
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 5.
If you value your own life, you will not threaten the lives of our people.
That's the president's message to Iran after the country launched 2 missile strikes at bases in Iraq hosting U.S. forces. This comes less than a week after the U.S. killed Iranian Major General Qasem Soleimani. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. No one was hurt in those strikes, but some troops from central Illinois are headed to the Middle East. We talked with veterans in this area about their thoughts on what's happening. WCIA 3's Courtney Bunting is with us now. So, Courtney, what did they tell you?
Well, Jennifer, they have a mixture of feelings about this, and some feel the United States should come back at Iran much harder, while others think this should be the end of it. Iran's supreme leader called the missile strike a slap to Americans, but he says Iran's real revenge will be forcing the U.S. to pull out of the region. Now, I talked to one man who served in the Army Reserves for 6 years. His grandson also recently joined the Army.
We've been pushed too long, and I think we needed to respond. Yeah, lots of controversy about that, but I totally agree with what our response was. And I hope that this would end with what the Iranians did last night.
Around 400 members of the Illinois National Guard in Effingham are headed to Afghanistan. However, their deployment has been planned for a while and will happen at the end of this month. Iran's foreign minister said Iran does not seek escalation or war, but will defend themselves against any oppression. Jennifer.
All right, Courtney, thank you. The U.S. Army is warning about a fake text message telling people they've been drafted. The texts say the recipient should report to the nearest Army recruiting branch for immediate departure to Iran, and that they'll be fined and sent to jail for a minimum of 6 years if they don't reply. Army security officials are looking into who is sending them.
Another concern regarding Iran is oil. You could see a direct impact at the pump if tensions continue to escalate. Washington correspondent Anna Warnicki has more.
In an address to the nation, President Trump said tensions with Iran are easing.
Iran appears to be standing down, which is a good thing for all parties concerned and a very good thing for the world.
Almost immediately after the president's address, oil prices tumbled.
We are independent, and we do not need Middle East oil.
Former national security advisor for the Trump campaign, J.D. Gordon, says the main reason the U.S. is in the Middle East is because of oil.
The Middle East has one of the top supplies of oil in the world.
Gordon says oil prices will keep fluctuating until the U.S. and Iran reach stability.
If we see more strikes by Iran or strikes from the United States against Iran, I think oil prices will go up.
Energy security is national security.
Texas Republican Congressman Michael McCall says the U.S. is now the world's leading oil producer.
We have become energy independent in the United States, and I think Texas has led the way towards energy independence. And that really does impact our foreign policy.
But because oil is traded on a global market, Texas Republican Will Hurd says the U.S. needs Iran to cooperate.
This is something that is within the Iranian government's ability to stabilize international markets.
President Trump says the U.S. will immediately impose economic sanctions on Iran, and they will remain until Iran changes its behavior. In Washington, I'm Anna Warnicki.
In other news, the father of an 8-year-old who was killed last year was in court today in Normal. Richard Roundtree is charged with endangering the life or health of a child. His daughter, Rika, was murdered last year. Roundtree's girlfriend, Cynthia Baker, was convicted last November of killing her. She beat her and kicked her to death. Baker took video of the abuse, and in each video, Roundtree was either heard or seen egging Baker on. Text messages were also sent between the two, in which he asked her if life would be better without Rika. Rika's mother says she thought it was about time Roundtree was arrested.
I can't even imagine what she must have been thinking, standing there every day, going through the stuff that she went through every single day, and her father's right there. How could this man that loved me and cared for me and just nurture me torture me now like this?
She says Baker and Roundtree aren't the only ones responsible. She says she will continue to work with police on this case to hold everyone who could have stopped this accountable. Danville police are investigating after an 18-year-old was shot. The victim says it happened around 8 last night near Holiday Drive and Bowman Avenue. The victim told officers shots were fired from a white vehicle. He says he was hit in the leg and got some friends to drive him to the hospital. No word on a suspect yet. If you know anything, call Crime Stoppers.
A woman made another appearance in court today related to a December hit and run. Asia Marshall is facing aggravated DUI, among other charges, after being accused of running over someone after an argument. Her trial was continued today as prosecutors wait for evidence from her car to be analyzed. They say it should take fewer than 60 days. Marshall's also facing DUI charges after police say she drove her car off the then unfinished Bradley Bridge in September. Investigators say her blood alcohol level was 3 times the legal limit. She's expected in court in March. Illinois House Speaker Michael Madigan denied he ever knew about an apparent rape and cover-up from years ago. In an email to former Governor Pat Quinn's chief of staff, Madigan's close confidant, Mike McLean, mentioned a, quote, rape in Champaign and urged the administration to protect a state worker who kept quiet about it. Madigan said, quote, these are extremely serious and troubling allegations. I had no knowledge of the incident referenced in the story and only learned of this today. I encourage those with any information to come forward. Victims of sexual assault in Illinois will not be put on the clock any longer. As of January 1st, there is no statute of limitations on sexual assault crimes, but it won't help those who already passed that 3-year mark. The law is not retroactive, so if the crime happened before the start of the new year, the 3-year reporting period still applies. While the effects may not be seen for a few years, experts believe it sends a message.
There's no magic that says for that person that if today is not the day that you make this report, then your chance is gone. What we know is that now at 3 years and 1 day, or 4 years and 10 days, or 10 years, that when a person's able to come forward and make this report, they can do it. And that's just so healing for victims.
Prior to the law change, a person had to be prosecuted within 10 years after the reported assault.
A dispensary in Urbana is out of marijuana for recreational use. A sign on the door of New Med says they are only serving medical patients. The general manager says they've placed orders for more marijuana. They hope to have it available sometime this weekend. Sunnyside Dispensary in Champaign says they closed their recreational line today because it was so long. They will reopen it again tomorrow. We have an update out of Rantoul. The village says it has a date set for the groundbreaking of a new sports complex. It's been set for Tuesday, January 14th at the future site. It'll be built in a field next to I-57. It'll hold several baseball, softball, soccer, and football fields. They expect to have it done by next year.
It's a big celebration for one man, what he was honored with for his work.
And one woman is suing Parkland College, what she says the school did.